But right now, I tell you what I want to do. Every time we do a town hall, we do a survey where we get out there and listen specifically to you and start asking questions from people like you that are doing digital ministry work literally around the world. And so this is what I want you to do. Let me click some buttons here and get it up. But if you can go to the conversation prompt is going to be survey.thechurch.digital. Survey, survey.thechurch.digital. That little green button there, we want to hear from you. Well, it's almost there. At least it could be there on your screen. But click on that. If you're in Hubelo, I think the technology works that if you click on that button, it'll link you straight out to where you want to go. And it'll open a new window and you'll still be connected to this to hear me. But either way, we're doing the survey now. This is Jason Morris's idea. We're not just doing it as part of Town Hall. We're going to extend it all the way through the conference. And when Jason does his talk in digital neighborhoods, I think he's going to reference it. And so survey.thechurch.digital, you can take it while we are going through. And so now I think survey. These things give you too many warnings, Andy, except on that you're not using, that you didn't punch the red button. Evidently, it doesn't give a warning that you didn't punch the red button. We got to figure that out. Survey.thechurch.digital, survey.thechurch.digital. We want to see that, or we want to hear from you. You can click the green button to go there. But let's roll through a couple slides here. Where are you from? We do get this one a lot. Where are you from? This is one of my favorite questions, just to kind of see where people are all over the planet. We've had 25 people or so take the survey already. And you can see, obviously, there's a big chunk here in America, 3 down here in where I live, 4 now, 11 and 4 down in Miami, where you can see, these surveys, the results are popping up real time on the screen. But I love this. We're starting to see, is this New Zealand or Oceania down here? Obviously, Australia, Asia Pacific, India coming in. Is that Italy? I guess. Germany, we got Africa coming in, sub-Saharan Africa. And so it's exciting for me to see how this is already spreading globally. And over the coming days, we're going to get this survey in front of more people. And we want to see, obviously, that spread far beyond what we're looking at in just North America, and to allow gospel, to allow digital missions to contextualize and adapt culturally around the world. By the way, whoever this is down here in Mexico or wherever it is down there in Central America, I'd love to meet you. I'd love to talk with you. So if you know who that is, that comes to mind, let's do that. Let's look at some other questions. My primary ministry is in what platform? My primary ministry is in what platform? I love y'all. I still can't believe Facebook is number 1 when I do this. I'm blown away. That I don't. God bless you. I hope it's being effective, and I hope you're reaching people. Even like Facebook Substack is, but Facebook, I know I don't look at it as that type of platform anymore. But obviously somebody does, and it's effective doing it. So God bless you. Twitch, Zoom, WhatsApp, YouTube, Discord, VR chat, in person, church online platform, peacemaking communities. Had an interesting conversation with Judy earlier about that. 1, Facebook, 2, WhatsApp. That's good. And so connecting with people on Facebook, driving it to WhatsApp. Yeah, you know what? I take it back. I can see that. If Facebook is being driven to a platform to dialogue at a deeper level, maybe I'd be more comfortable with that. But because I just, Facebook gets really shallow at sometimes, it feels like. Maybe I'm judgmental. I tell you what, you can @ Andy and let him know your distaste for that. Andy, Andy, at thechurch.digital. That'll be great. Are you involved in ministry that functions primarily digitally? So of the ministry you're doing, 23 people responded so far. So keep this survey open, survey.thechurch.digital if you're just joining in. Open up a separate webpage. Don't close this, obviously. Listen in. 3 people no, 8 people kinda primarily digital, and then 16 people strong yes, that their ministry functions primarily is the important word, digitally. All right. Are you also involved in additional ministry that functions primarily physically? Are you only digital, or do you kind of digital physical, or all in digital but also help out physical? Like, what does that look like? 5 said no, 5 said kinda, and 16 said yes. Once again, 16 people, the majority here. are functioning primarily physically. And so that's an interesting. That's me, by the way. I mean, I would say that um, I am primarily digital, but I am helping a ministry, actually a number of ministries that are working in physical space. I don't consider myself my ministry hybrid as much because like my focus is digital. But when a church in town, actually, I just today signed another church that wants me to help them with their AVL stuff, and so like I'm not driving the church's vision. I'm driving the church digital's vision, and I'm helping this other organization, achieve theirs towards that. And so I don't think it's wrong to be mixed there. It's curious to see what that balance is. Next question: share any thoughts on the physical digital tensions in ministry. One, obviously, ministry reach. The scale we are able to reach through digital is amazing and way more than we can do in person and is a great gateway. But the embodied reality of the physical ministry feels very important. It's interesting. There still is a lot of mindset around the embodiment, the physicality of it coming in. Both have their strengths. Digital can be daily, 24/7, and easier for those estranged from the church. Physical is easier to meet in physical needs. That's true. Physical is easier to meet in physical needs. It's interesting. I fall back on Pastor D. I did a stream with her last week, 2 weeks ago, and asked her, like, what's the difference between digital and physical? And she said digital is much more intimate. Digital to her, and she's a pastor, African American pastor, 12 years out of a church in California, digital only. And she says it's digital is more intimate than physical. I was not expecting that. Community building, integration approaches, how to integrate together, technology adaptions. We're going to publish all of these down the road. New responses, ones are coming in just now. Relax and enjoy. It's something of a balancing act to keep the two working together. Lots. I don't know what Lots is, but good luck to you. Lots sounds like Lots was a early submission. So that's known to happen. I do that all the time. Hey, let's hit next slide. Do you have a relationship that are primarily fostered around digital tools? Do you have a relationship or relationships? I almost drank coffee from a candle. Let's just make sure you grab the right thing, Jeff. Do you have relationships with people that are primarily fostered with digital tools? So 5% say they have no relationships that are in that space. 45 have some relationships. And 50% of you, 50% of digital missionaries responding here, have many relationships that are primarily fostered with digital tools. This would be digital only. This would be digital strong, physical weak, but not a physical relationship that goes digital. And so that's cool. You're knowing people in digital community and building relationships with that. Considering your digital fostered relationships, have you felt that you have helped individuals grow closer to God? So far, it looks like this was a question we added late in. 11 people answered this. I would love if you all have this point. Survey.thechurch.digital. We would love to hear from you on this. 67% of people interviewed would say absolutely they have helped people grow closer to God digitally. 33% would say sometimes, and then 0% would say not really. So we are, as a digital missionary, we are making a difference, helping people grow closer to God. It's interesting. I play an iPhone game called Last War. It's zombie meets SimCity meets World War III, and so I'm in alliance with some people, 100 people around the country, around the planet. And, there's active chat. And the leader's wife got baptized over the weekend. Leader's a Christian. We've talked about Christ pretty openly in the group. And there's many that are Christian. There are many that are not Christian. But there's me, there's the leader. His name's Chum. And then there's the other guy, Team Jesus 34. I don't know what 34 stands for, but he's the one that's a little more, bang you over the head with the gospel. And the others are a little more subtle. If you're Team Jesus 34, I mean, I'd love to have a Zoom call with you. Anyway, but it's fun, like, getting to celebrate his wife and have that conversation with him, and other people now asking what does baptism mean, and having those conversations. Like, there's a natural implication to draw people closer to God. Of your digitally fostered relationships, how many of these digitally fostered relationships are you currently actively discipling? So you're having a relationship. Like I have a relationship with Chum. I don't know that I'm discipling him. I wouldn't say that I'm intentional towards what I'm doing with Chum 371, I think. But so that would not account for me here. So let's look at this. Of your digitally fostered relationships, how many are you currently actively discipling? 0% of people or some are saying none. Some are saying 1 to 2 people. Some are saying 3 to 5. Some are saying here 6 to 11. 22%, almost one of 4, are saying 11 plus people are being actively discipled at this point digitally. So people of you that you know digitally, 1 in 4 discipling 11 people. You do some rough math here, that's 50, almost 60%. 3 of 5 are discipling 3 or more people currently digitally. That's exciting to me, and I hope that trend continues on. What's also interesting is if you look at the green here, many relationships. So earlier we asked a question, do you have relationships with people primarily with digital tools? The people that said that they had many relationships are the ones that are on the high end of this. So the people that are actively and intentionally focused on connecting with people are intentionally focused on driving them towards discipleship. I love this. This is great, man. This is telling the story. Of these digitally fostered relationships, how many have you personally led to Christ and salvation? Now, there's some really interesting language here around what Christ and salvation and what that means in 25, and is that a decision? Is that a long term? We can have that conversation, and we already did. Thank you. Mike had jumped on it in Discord, and he's not wrong. So don't overthink the question. But how many people would you say that you've led to Christ, where there was a transformation, a decision, where there was a change? It's interesting. Maybe it's a biased question because of that cultural change in decision and what that looks like today. But 78% would say none. They've not seen a specific event of life change more towards it. Now, a relational discipleship does lean more towards a casual disciple growing, as opposed to raising your hand and chop and accepting Christ. So I get that tension, but starting to look here, okay, 1 to 2, 17% would say 1 to 2 people, 6% would say 3 to 5, and at a large scale, not much. This is actually one of the things that I think Jason is going to dig into in the conference, and I'm actually excited. One of the other people, Jeff Vanderstelt, is going to come and speak on gospel fluidity in the Digital Neighborhoods Conference, and I'm so excited about that talk. Like, I've wanted Jeff Vanderstelt to come talk to you all for over a year on this book. It's phenomenal, and it's eye-opening in the conversation that surrounds this. I would suggest that there's a culture shift that we, the Church Digital, are going to be looking at in the coming season. All right, hey, let's look at this. And there's always a culture shift at the Church Digital. If somebody didn't comment, I can't see the chat right now, but if somebody didn't comment that, you should have. A lot of you were thinking it. Considering these digitally fostered relationships you have, how many people have been baptized? This right here, this is one of the biggest criticisms of digital church and of digital discipleship. People, me, I talk about this. When people say the local church, I cringe. Like it's nails on the chalkboard. You don't mean it to be a slam, but I interpret anytime I hear it, I get negative quickly, because I'm interpreting it as, well, you can't do church digitally, you have to do it physically in the local space. And the biggest argument that we get, how are people getting wet? What does that look like? So of the digital missionaries out there that are fostering relationships, 0 people are 56%, more than the majority. More than the majority. The majority are saying no baptisms. And then it's scattered throughout beneath here. This is a big deal. This is a big deal to me. This is a big deal to Jason. And this is one of the things that organizationally, Jason's been asking in the background some of this, and I think that it's time for us to address this and some other issues. Like if we're legitimizing what digital mission work is, and the Bible. Listen, I mean, I'm not saying baptism is important. I'm saying look at the Bible, and the Bible's saying baptism is important. And so, like we've got to figure that out. If somebody wants to go get baptized in a virtual reality pool with pixels, I love that. Let's do that. But that's a baptism. Let's call that a baptism and call it done. Ed Stetzer may not call it a baptism. Hey, Ed, but we would be fine calling it a baptism and moving on with that. But once again, that's an intentional act that's happening even in digital or virtual space. So what can we do to use our digital relationships to draw in the digital influence that we have with these people that we're fostering and discipling to lead them to a place of discipleship? Conversation for a different day, I'm sure. The heart of the church digital is to help people have gospel conversations digitally. Hey, Mr. Pete, and in virtual reality. I couldn't fit virtual reality on the slide. I'm sorry, sir. What do you consider a gospel conversation? This was eye-opening to me. I came in with an idea, and I walked out with another one. And so there's not necessarily a right answer or a wrong answer. This is something that we as an organization have to figure out. A gospel conversation is talking with a non-Christian about making a decision to follow Jesus. 11% of you are saying that right now. Or talking with Christians and non-Christians, helping them grow closer to God. So an atheist turning to an agnostic, acknowledging that God exists, is a gospel conversation because they got one step closer to understanding God. And a Christian who goes from a casual consumer Christian but accepted Jesus into a deeper, multiplying, disciple-making relationship, that is also a step closer to God. But is that a gospel conversation? And so this is some of the things that I wanted to know what people were thinking as we talk about what a gospel conversation is. Does your spouse minister with you with your digital ministry? 6% said I'm single. Maybe good for you. I don't know how that works for you. 12% said yes, your spouse does minister with you. 82 said no. At a personal level, I'm in the 82. My wife, I love her, and this is nothing about her, but she's not a digital friendly person, and so like the stuff that I'm doing, she's learned, but we're in a different space. She does ministry, incredible ministry through her school, and she's really good with kids, much better than I am. But we don't often do ministry aligned much in digital space. Ironically, we'll work together in physical space, helping do a church production. She's great with like ProPresenter and those types of softwares, but in digital, it's really been separate. And so I don't know if guilty is the right word, but I'm in this 82% where it's not aligned. Do you have opinions or share your thoughts on that? My wife joins in when she can help the vision. We are co-laborers of our digital ministry. She is not. My wife and I share in the pastoral ministry in a traditional congregation, but the digital piece is mostly my area of focus rather than hers right now. That, I believe, is actually going to be a common theme. And maybe that's something to address. Like, how do we get our spouses more involved in what we're doing? Is that right? What does a spouse look like of a digital church? How can he or she support that? It would be good thing knowing that 2 will put 10,000 to flight. I don't get that, but I think it would be a good thing. So let's just call that and move on. All right. Do your children participate with you in digital ministry? 13% said no, or no kids. More power to you. 69% said no, they don't, but 19%, 1 out of 5, have the kids somewhat involved in ministry. Looking at how they sometimes help with scripture reading and prayer. We hope to start a digital group for some kids. I'm digitally discipling soon. Excited about that. We're exploring doing more on camera time with our children to model family discipleship. I love that. They do their own. I got to tell you, that's a great answer too. No, they don't help with our ministry. We taught them how to do their own thing. We want to be careful about the safety of children in a digital space. Definitely agree with that as well. And so once again, I don't think there's a right or wrong answer as we're looking at how we're doing this, as much as let's ask the question, how can we? How can we model a digital a complete family ministry or do ministry with the kids in digital space? And so if you have not filled out the survey, feel free to click that link on the screen. We want to hear from you, or fill out or go to survey.thechurch.digital to do this. The survey will be left open beyond this, and I think we're actually wrapping up with one or two slides. But it'll go beyond this. We're going to keep the survey open to September 17th or so. I believe Jason's going to present on this on September 17th. Biggest challenge facing your digital ministry today. And I went ahead and just left it open so people could type whatever they want. And I mean, it's a hodgepodge. We got time, we got overwhelming, controversy, recognition, screen fatigue, technical skills, recruiting people. It's challenging, viral marketing, asynchronous communications, money, follow-up, effectiveness, schedules, meeting time, getting people to take, coherence within ministry, discipleship pathway, resistance to technology, scalability, getting people to come, government monitoring. Yeah, that's something we don't face in America. Government monitoring, changing time, at least not yet. I don't mean anything political by that. Yeah, once again, if they got hate mail on that comment, Andy at thechurch.digital, that'll be great. Impersonal, resources, sustainable, building content, fewer labors, funding. Look, the point is there's lots of issues surrounding this, and we're gonna talk about this. I had an idea. Actually, I'm just gonna be honest. I had an idea when this question came in. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. We had an idea maybe a week before, but it really ties into this question. TCD does a lot to train and equip individuals to start digital ministries. What if I don't want to start something yet, but I want to serve and learn in an existing ministry? How do I find that? I want to acknowledge right here with this slide, this is the only question that I believe that's the only question. Yeah, this was the only question that we received so far with that. And I think this is a completely valid question. We're going to come back to this in a second. This is really good. Listen, I don't want to do my thing. I want to help somebody else do their thing. Don't go anywhere. Stick around for that. Let's dig in. Andy, can you make the screen go away for me? Thank you for that. I still don't really, I'm not comfortable with the interface. Do I have to turn it off? I may have to turn it off. Yeah, I do. It's on me. That's fine. It's too many buttons, man. Too many buttons. So here's what I want to do with next. Listen, we're really excited about this survey. We're going to roll out the results of this survey at the Digital Neighborhoods Conference. And we're actually going to talk here about the conferences overall. Actually, you know what? Let me go ahead. I'll click that slide and we'll get into it. But we are very excited to do the conferences and to talk about some of what's coming up with the conferences, the surveys, Jason coming in Digital Neighborhoods. We've got Conrad from the CEO of Project Exodus, a recovery organization in South Africa. It's doing great work around the world, is coming in to be one of the keynote leads for a recovery conference. When I look at the European Summit, their lineup is ridiculous. 13 people. It's going to be like TED Talk. Bam, 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 bam. All very early morning here in America. Excited about their conference overall, and gaming conference. An incredible lineup. It's people that I've heard a long time ago, going from Jate Earhart all the way up to Christian Ninja, who I've never heard publicly speak, but I've read his stuff and excited to see what that's going to look like. Like the lineup of conferences that we're doing here, starting in September 17th, is incredible. And the survey will fit into, like, it's going to be beautiful. Can you believe we're 3 weeks out from the conferences? Like, to me, this is the thing. We blinked, we sneezed, something happened, and all of a sudden, I'm looking at the Digital Missionary Conference, and I am at the website, and it says 21 days. 21 days in a couple hours. Tomorrow, 21 days, we're launching Digital Neighborhoods, and my heart like jumped. Pastor D, glad you're here. We need your help. here, not just Pastor D. Pastor D, that was a weird transition. I apologize. But we need your help across the board. I need you all to jump into Andy, that's not on my screen again. Oh, this is frustrating. You know what? I may have hung up on my share instead of sharing. Let me reshare this. My fault. There you go. We need your help. We need your help getting the word out on the digital missionary summit. We've got an ad campaign running right now. We're seeing attendance spikes come in. Communications has been a little bit of to be honest, the idea of doing 4 conferences back to back to back to back the way that we're doing it right now, I'll never do it again. Never. That was a great idea with ill-conceived timing and overstretched a lot of our resources and capacity. And along the way, it's funny. Like I'll personally call myself out. We went from a digital missionary sending agency to a conference producing organization in this shift, and some things we got lost in the vision. We're going to get through this conference season. We're going to come back healthier. We're learning things. If nothing else, through the Church Digital, it's lots of beta, experimentation, learning from mistakes, and reiterating. And so excited about what 25 fall is going to look like, and also excited about what we're planning on 26. And so for us, here's what I need from you. I need your help getting the word out on these conferences. And so Barbara and the team at Word Revolution, they did an incredible job creating media kits, shareable resources, graphics, copy, everything included for each of the conferences. So here's the information on the Digital Neighborhood, September 17th, opening at 10 a.m. The speakers set up with the topics they're speaking on, graphics, and then information here, copy that you can just copy and paste straight in. That is not showing up. I got it's a learning curve, man. This is different. So digital neighborhoods, all the information is here. The keynote speakers, the dates, stuff that you can copy and paste in, shareable posts and graphics. Copy that, save that on. Here's copy you can already put in social media to get it out there. And then tons of graphics. Trains you to lead where people actually live online. This fall, I'm going to grow in digital ministry. Join me and others shaping church in digital spaces. You are already sowing, now grow. For anyone turning chats into church, come with me. Like there's some beautiful digital discipleship comes to life, so come with me. All these graphics is just a click, a download away. And we've got many others. And here's the Control Alt Recover one. You can see some of the graphics we've created here. You don't need the crash and reboot is for leaders who want to heal and lead well in digital spaces. We've already got copy created. There's tons of other graphics that are available for you to utilize. Just lots of thought. You know, if nothing else, lots of thought went into from Barbara and Word Revolution team on these. Like, here's all the speakers for the European one. Man, this is crazy. So much good stuff. Digital missions in Europe starts here, so come with me. I love this. If you lead online in Europe, you need this. Come with me and meet digital missionaries across Europe. This is for Europe's digital pioneers. Join me. Europe's digital discipleship is rising. Step in. Like this is the chance to highlight and draw attention and to bring people into a network that's supportive and friendly to the idea of missionaries in digital spaces. Now let's highlight our gaming friends here. God bless the gamers. Here's the information, the keynotes, our own Andy Mage, Jade Live speaking. We got to update. Craig's out and the other person's in. Christian Ninja to replace. But hey, every game is a gathering. Gamers who disciple, is there. You're invited. The mission fields evolve, stepped in, play with purpose. The game is on. Some graphics here. Your digital pulpit is already live. Your stream is your pulpit. Movement leaders from inside the culture. The front lines are gathering. Love learn what works now. I love that because it's not even a pipe dream. It's the reality of where we are. And so all of this, I think the graphic was on the screen. Digital neighborhood media kit and shareable graphics. Well, essentially, all of the graphics right now are at share share dot thechurch.digital. Andy, I don't think I changed that, and so that may not even be the right one. But it is sh to go to the main page. It was a late drop. share dot thechurch.digital, and that will send you to this page. Just look how beautiful this is. Everything that's coming together. Barbara and her team figured out how to make 4 conferences meld and culturally brand into one beautiful schematic. It is very cool to see that. Grab some of these graphics. Listen, last time we exploded. We had 1,500 people sign up from 85 countries. We had 1,100 people day of show up for this thing, and it was a ton of friends, man. Like, listen, the ad campaign brought people in. Yay! Hopefully, the ad campaign will bring some people in. But the ones who stuck were friends of friends. The ones who were part of this are the people that were one generation away, were one hop, skip, and a jump from somebody else. And so maybe take this opportunity to help us get the word out. Remember, with every shareable graphic, you drive people to the digital missionary.digital website, www.missionary.digital, and all the registration pages are open on Missionary Digital. So we're excited about the Digital Missionary. Yeah, that was it on that page. We're excited about the Digital Missionary Summit kicking off in 3 weeks, 3, 4, 5, 6. Over the next 6 weeks, we'll be posting 4 conferences on digital missions. And yeah, here's coffee for you. It's gonna be good. I'm gonna be exhausted when it's over, but man, it's gonna be good. Hey, I want to pivot on something here. Let me see if I can get this to work a little better than I have been. So if I do that, it's going to remove it, and then it'll be in the back screen where I can just add it. Yay! And then it's there, so I can add it there. I am learning how to interact with this thing. All right. So, all right. I threw some teases in there. I've got some exciting announcements. I got 3 exciting things coming up right now that I'm going to hit 1, 2, 3. And so the first thing I posted, I love this, was a photo of Lex Luthor from the, yeah, thank you, Utopia. I just saw that. Utopia's great at like finding the errors, man. Thanks, man. It's a Lex Luthor from the Smallville series. I love Lex. I can't remember the name of the actor. He is now producing a series. He was in Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Brett Baum or something like that. But he's actually producing a series of audio Superman, like podcast type stuff now. And it's awesome. But there's something that I want to share with you all. Now, this is, if beta is too strong of a word, this is alpha. This is really early. This is behind the scenes. We're not actually like showing this in a big way. By the way, we've got a big announcement, a big surprise coming up. I'm going to address that question that came up a couple minutes ago. But right now, I want to share with you this super secret thing that, to be honest, like only a half dozen people, maybe 10 people have seen. And so those of you that are watching this live, those of you that are watching this on demand, I'm giving you a sneak peek right here. You ready? I don't think I stopped the screen share. Okay, we'll do it again. It's cranky, Andy. It's a cranky software. I love it. It'll be great. All right. It's backstage now. We're going to bring it on. Here you go. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Lex. All right, look, here is the deal. We have created an AI based on the Church Digital. Barbara Carnero has been working on this for, I guess, a year or so. and we had built this in Chat GPT initially, and then we recently found a an organization, a company called Tapos, which encodes a large amount of audio, video, blogs, books, podcasts, like any media source, and digests it into an AI form. Now, look, you're looking at a web page. This is very early in design. That's what I'm saying. This is like alpha. It's like proof of concept here. Like, okay, like we're not taking this public, but every all of the 700 plus blogs that we've written through the Church Digital, the 2 books that I wrote through the Church Digital, the 900 videos and audio podcasts that we've done through the Church Digital. Some of you may remember Tom Pounder's, oh my gosh, what was Tom's the TCD boot camp, digital boot camp, even the stuff he did before when he was like YM sidekick, like thank you. I appreciate that. Everybody's saying sidekick. All of that is in this AI. And so like I can come here and just do a search real quick. Tell me what ministry looks like in VR chat. And so it's doing that. It's scanning the Church Digital's resources, and it's going to present, it's gathering my thoughts. Lex is. Ministry in VR chat is about meeting people where they are, digital spaces crafted for connection. It's real church with a digital twist. Thanks, Act 2, fellowship, discipleship, and worship. But instead of pews, you're in a room, a coffee shop. In VR chat, blah, blah, blah. You're not alone. TCD offers coaching, resource, framework to help you launch. Keep pushing. Signed, Lex. That's fun. Okay, hey, I remember one of the things that I saw was asynchronous community, struggling with asynchronous community. Yeah, it's a bug here. Let me reset that. There's a bug because I'm doing a screen share and it won't delete for some reason when I screen share. What are 5 ways I can improve async community for discipleship? It's funny, Andy. I did this search earlier, and it came up with some things. Great question. I'm going to get it. Yeah, it is good. Great question. Building strong asynchronous community for disciples is crucial in our digital first world. Here are 5 practical ways to level it up. Regular check-ins, create dedicated spaces, facilitate asynchronous Bible engagement, leverage media and resources, foster personal accountability and stories, encourage members to share their testimonies, blah, blah, blah. You can do this. Check this out. I'm going to do view resources. Andy, you're going to love this. Episode 293, Andy Mage and Building Deeper Relationships. That is the source of all of the material we just shared. So it pulled episode 293 and generated 5. Andy actually in the call generated 7. I just didn't want to blah, blah, blah too much. So I did 5 here to generate that, to show that. Pretty cool, right? Now look at this. This is crazy. I love this. Can I type down here? What does, I've never actually done this box before, so this will probably break on me. What does calling look like? Let's say personal calling. Look like in digital space. What does personal calling look like in digital space? Great question. Personal calling starts with an awareness of impact. It's the gut feeling you're meant to do more, reach more online. Think about it. You begin noticing your online interactions spark questions, encouragement, or transformation. Maybe somebody reaches out or you feel prompted to comment more. Talks about calling. Let's view the sources on here. Let's see what we get. The Church Digital, the Church Digital, the Church. Oh, it didn't come up. Man, I thought I was going to get that. Let me do one more. I'm trying to force it to say something. AI never does what you want it to, but it always gives you the right answer. How do I plan a church? Am I called to plan a church? Great question. The truth is, calling is biblically rooted in God's spirit and His purpose for your life. Not everyone is called to be a church planter in a traditional sense. Sometimes your primary God-given role is to disciple well where you are at work, in your neighborhood, or online. That is mission enough. But let me go down to the sources. I don't know if you can see this. You see this red button? Exponential. So here's the deal. Exponential is also considering, hopefully, sealing the deal, but is considering coming on with Topos and bringing their library on. And so as of right now with this test, we're actually doing where we have access to all of Exponential's library and is melded together with what we're doing and offering. And so while we're speaking to a lot of digital assets, and Jeff streaming talking crazy about equipping and mobilization, yeah, some of that of a stream that I did last year, 24, showed up, and another stream in 24. But a lot of this, like Ralph Moore getting access to his content in the system, is beautiful. And so they're considering whether or not to stay. I don't know if it's going to work, but sources of everything is available. But then off of all of these posts, you can create social media posts. You can do personal reflection prompts, teaching materials if you want it for a teaching, create a podcast episode of audio that it resonates through. Like, there's a really rich engine around this. Now, design of Topos is, not the strongest, to say the most. I just unshared on that when I meant to share the screen that I was on. But the roadmap of where they are and some of the things they're improving on is going to be great in the near future. But I would say this: look for Lex in the very near future as a chat bot on our TCD website. In addition, we will be taking all the digital missionary conferences, and we're going to be digitizing that into a separate AI. Probably won't be named Lex. We'll have to figure out some name for that. What was Superman's girlfriend? I'm so not a DC guy. The reporter, I don't know. Somebody will tell me in chat. But the idea is maybe we'll come up with some name. Lois. No, we're not going to do Lois. Maybe Lane. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But we'll come up with some name for the AI on that one. But some of the things that I'm suggesting, more than just a chat bot or a web page, how do we get Lex into Discord? Would it work as a Discord plugin? How can people interact with Lex on a Discord server, on a Discord channel? How can we do that same thing into WhatsApp so that we can interact with it on these asynchronous communities? Like, that's our desire, is to make Lex more engaging and more available for you all. And so Lex is one thing. Now that's maybe the most surprising thing. And I do want to thank Barbara for really starting the conversation with us on the idea of AI agents and what it can do. Like, I was, not to say that it wasn't on my radar, but it was not a priority. And really seeing the work that she initially did on Lex was so inspiring. Like, to be honest, like, and the reason why we call it Lex is, Lex is trying to take over the world, bro. And I firmly do believe that at some point, what we're doing with AI is going to go crazy, and it's going to cause a major problem in some capacity. But let's use it while we can, because it's going to happen either way, in my opinion. And so, yeah, one day Lex is going to, take over the world. But right now, I think he can help us make disciples. Any hate mail on that, you can send it to Andy, ANDY, at thechurch.digital. But let's do this. We got a couple things, and I'm running out of time in typical fashion. The question was, how can I help other people do digital ministry? How can I help other people do digital ministry? That was the question from the survey. We don't want to do our own thing, but I just want to help somebody else do their thing. What does that look like? And so here's what we're doing through the Church Digital. This is volunteer.thechurch. Maybe volunteers, volunteers.thechurch.digital, volunteers.thechurch.digital, redirect to this form. We are starting a projects team. We're developing a database. We brought on We brought on 2 or 3 project managers. Really excited about this, to bring on some people to keep us focused. And I'm when I say people, I mean me, to keep me focused on tasks, to keep me focused on vision, on goals, on things, and not follow the wild rabbit like I'm known to on occasion, or the shiny toy. And so in on the care side, we've got Jose Santiago. Anesh is coming in on the equipping and mobilization side, and new to TCD. Excited about this. We've got Purpose Antonio from Nigeria coming in, and Purpose has a strong background in project management in different formats, agile and blah blah blah. But one of the things, and the thing that I love about Purpose, is that what stood out in the interview process with him from Nigeria was Purpose is from Nigeria, Utope. You two should connect. He's not that far outside of Lagos, but I think he's on the opposite side of where I thought you were. Anyway, Purpose was talking to me about how you fit project management into ministry. You don't make it tasks, you make it ministry oriented, and you highlight the good that it's happening, and what it's benefiting and things like that. And it was just this, it was this perfect moment of, okay, we need to figure out how to capture that culture from this guy named Purpose. I just almost started to call him a kid. He's not a kid, but from this guy in Nigeria, and figure out how to get it into the church digital. And what Purpose says right off the bat is, he's like harassing me, dude. I love it. I love it. He's like, we need a projects team, Jeff. Okay, Purpose, I'm doing a meeting on Tuesday. I'll make it in. And so we're developing a projects team. Listen, we do a ton of work inside the church digital. Fact. We do a ton of work outside, as we're looking at expanding streaming networks and what we're doing with the podcast and new courses. Like, there's a ton of assets that we want to develop. Running 4 conferences, there's a ton of 2 conferences a year, major conferences a year. There's a ton of assets that we need help with. But that's just us. There's also this whole other world of how listen. My mom right now, Jeff, I'm ready to launch this Facebook group. God bless. I need a logo for my Facebook group. How do I get a logo for a Facebook group? I'm not going to tell my mom to go use ChatGPT. So I need somebody to do ChatGPT for her, or spend an hour and create a typeface logo that she can put in her profile and some sort of banner for the top. Like, that's a simple thing that, by the way, if you're interested in doing that, you can email me, Jeff, Jeff, at thechurch.digital, or fill out this form. Because essentially what we want to do is we want to figure out what are some of the skill sets that you have. Website development, social media, content creation, graphic design, event planning, community outreach, technical, building relationships, preaching, pulpit care. Is there anything that we missed? Yes, we're interested in you serving and helping and volunteering with the Church Digital. We're also interested in making this database available to people within our network. And you know what? Let's go back to that slide where there's like 47 things that are hard. There's 47 answers to those within the network. I struggle with asynchronous community. Well, the good news is, between AI and maybe somebody else in the network, you can get coached on how to make it better. I struggle with time. Well, maybe you can recruit a couple volunteers to come alongside you and fill in the stuff that you're weak on, and some people that are willing to help you with that. And so part of what we're looking for right now is how to get more people involved, not only with the Church Digital, but involved in ministry overall within the network, so that we can resource some of you out there that are struggling. How many weeks are you looking to commit? How comfortable are you with online tools? On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you to join the projects team? I would be interested in volunteering for other digital churches and missionaries should a tangible need arise. Anytime, sometimes, occasionally, nope. And anything else you want to tell us. Volunteer.thechurch.digital. Excited excited about the opportunities. And it was really cool. Like, I know Purpose is new with us, which is awesome, but Purpose really kind of pushed on me to get there to make this happen. And listen, I always listen to people when they push on me. Well, for the most part, because it makes us better. All right, so here we go. I'm wrapping up on time. We're going to go a little long. Here's the last of the surprises. So by the way, did I do a? Let me see. Let's go back to there was a photo of Lex, right? There was a photo of, what was the second photo I did? Um, oh, the projects, the science project. We just did that one. Yeah, because of the project, the team's called projects. Um, Listen, when it's last minute, like late at night, it's not always the best ideas, but it's fun. And then the third graphic that I put in there was the right hand turn signal. And the fourth was a present. And so, look, here's what we're doing. The Church Digital, we developed a partnership that we're going to announce today. Now, we're going to roll this into the conferences. We're excited about this sponsor. And ultimately, the sponsor is very excited about you. It's funny in the grand scheme of things surrounding digital ministry and digital discipleship. We've been friends with this organization for a long time, and it was funny. I was actually talking with some of their leadership, and it's like, I can't believe we've waited all this time to actually make something official. Like, it was kind of stupid between both of us that we didn't get to this point. But the result of this is that we, the Church Digital, are able to give you guys and gals, anybody that's involved, heck, anybody that's interested, we're able to give you an incredible resource that's going to help your ministry. I don't think I could oversell that any more than I just did. And so I'm going to hopefully click this button, and it's going to show up on the screen, and it disconnects. Andy, that's the second time I click the green thing, and it disconnects. So write that down as a bug, and we'll let our friends know that they got a problem. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, whoever did the Oprah, I am feeling the Oprah. Let's try it one more time. We're going to add to the stream, and here we are. We, the Church Digital, have come up with a partnership with Right Now Media. Essentially, anyone who's connected with the Church Digital has immediate access to all of Right Now Media. And so I'm going to tell you how to do how to get your free account in a second. But if you don't know Right Now Media, let me tell you right off the bat. If Netflix and Bible studies had a baby, that might be weird, but it would be Right Now Media. And so this is a massive resource of digital discipleship from Christian authors, Christian pastors, kids material, kids videos. Like, this is anything surrounding Bible studies for kids and adults, young people, and it's all available in digital space. Like, if you're looking here, popular teachers, Kyle Adelman, Francis Chan, J.D. Greer, Joby Martin, Jenny Allen, John Mark Comer, Louis Giglio, Kyle Martin, and more. Like, this is an incredible asset that's available globally. By the way, they are working into multiple languages. I'm not sure what the number actually is. They told me, I forgot. But ideally, this is going to be a huge resource that is now available for anyone that's connected with the Church Digital. And so what you need to do to get this is you will go to, I just blanked on it, thechurch.digital / right now media. Thechurch.digital / right now media. And you can create an account there. You'll see the TCD logo. I'm in Miami, Florida, so therefore I think the entire organization is Miami, Florida. Sorry, Andy. We'll get in Odessa later. Actually, I thought about telling Odessa, Ukraine, just to kind of be funny, but the guy didn't think that was funny. But we're excited about the idea of Right Now Media and coming on board with that. The accounts are free for personal use, and so the Church Digital cleared it with the board, leadership. We're excited. We pay a nominal fee to make that happen. Like, I couldn't believe how cheap it was, and so feel free to Give out that URL like it's candy, man. Thechurch.digital / right now media. Feel free to sign up for your account. No limits on it. There's funny. There's a group functionality. I was looking at the back end. There's a group functionality. I'm not sure that we're going to turn on. We will have a. Let me see if I can get this part to work. I'll have to log in real quick. Boom, 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 boom. That's not the right password. Don't you hate it when you do that? A bunch of people are watching you type and you can't. Typing, talking, and being on camera at the same time is very hard. I can play a video game. I've done that a couple times streaming. But talking is a different bird for me. All right, look. And by the way, if somebody's like, hey, I'm looking for a place to volunteer, this would be a great place to start. We have the ability to create a custom library with the Church Digital. And so when you're logged in and you click the Church Digital, it comes to this custom library page. And so I went ahead and I just threw in Jeff's picks because I love Francis Chan. Francis Chan doing the Acts, study on Acts, hugely impactful. His book, Acts, I think it's called Acts, was life-changing for me, eye-opening for me in many ways. His study on James has been incredible in my life. I don't know that I've done this, but A Vision for the Global Church, Francis Chan's headlining it. Yeah, it might be interesting for y'all to take a look at. And so, listen, I've got Jeff's picks here. In the future, we're going to have curated picks and different lists from that. And so if some volunteer out there is like, hey, you know what? I love digital Bible studies. I'd love to help the Church Digital figure this out. Email Jeff at the Church Digital. If you're like, I hate Bible studies and right now media is stupid, email Andy at the Church Digital. That will be great. Whew! Man, I'm tired. I'm trying to think. Andy, did I cover everything I was supposed to cover? Yes. Andy is saying thumbs up. So listen, we are good to go. All of these links, if you're watching on demand, we will be having these links available in the description in YouTube. Easy to click. Let's engage. Help us share those graphics for the conference. Hype up graphics in the conference and what you're doing. Fill out the survey at the survey.thechurch.digital. Get connected to the volunteer team. Right Now Media, incredible asset. Play around with Lex as your heart desires. But this is one of many ways we, the Church Digital, are trying to help empower, equip and empower people to do ministry in digital space globally. And it's wonderful for me when I have conversations with missions organizations who see vision in what you're doing and see vision in what we're doing. It was funny. Today I signed another church for a contract. I'm doing some AVL coaching for them, physical church. And the pastors know me for a couple weeks because I've been doing some AVL installs, and they're asking me to step up in a temporary time to be like a temporary leader in the church. And the pastor's like, I just looked at your website and figured out what you actually do. And I was like, oh no, here it comes. Like that is the moment in my life where it's like, okay, it's either going to be hellfire and brimstone, or it's going to be, that's really cool. And the way this guy did it, he's kind of a dry personality. I literally had no idea where I was going. And he's like, I can't believe you're planning churches in virtual reality and Discord. And he's like, my kids would love this, and we need to do like, he's a guy who saw the vision, and it clicked for him. And it's so beautiful. I hope you have that experience too, where you talk with someone and they see the vision of it, and they want to be a part of it. And if you don't have that in your digital ministry life, that will be my prayer for you. That someone you will meet in the next week or so will have that vision, that you will be given a divine opportunity by God to share a vision of what God has called you to do, and someone will see it and want to be a part. Hey, we started awkward. Pastor D, Yatope, everybody else who's around. Let me jump on attendees and see who's here. Purpose, man, glad you're here. Pastor D, Simon, Judy, Gary. I meant to connect with you earlier, didn't get a chance to. Paul, Ian, Leighton, Flatcap, Micah, Tariq, Micah stirring the pot. That's honestly that's what I love about Micah. Micah, like, hey, I see what you're doing. Drop a bomb in there. Okay, you clean it up now. That's beautiful. Tariq, Emmanuel, Demarcus, Melanie. We've got some Toki. I don't know. Glad you're a barber. Thanks for coming in. Steve, Anesh, everybody that's in. Listen, it's an exciting season for the church digital. So take these next steps. Help us as we push the ball forward with conferences, get more awareness, get more connected to partners globally, and start to equip and empower more people to be digital missionaries globally. I did a lot of talking this one. Sorry. Hopefully the conference is stable for you. I'm going to pray in a second, but before we go, here's what we're going to do. The lobbies are open, and so the digital lobby should be open. Andy hopefully can make sure in the background that the lobbies are open and running. And at the same time, there's a breakout room called After Party. And so I would love you all to grab a table, have a conversation, meet some people, go over to the at the lobby. I think the software calls it the lounge. We probably need to adapt our language to lounge. Go hang out in the lounge. Alter Live called it lobby. Go hang out in the lounge, grab a table, talk to somebody, swing over to the breakout, see how that works. Just like, figure the technology out. We will be in this platform for the conferences starting in a couple weeks. But for now, let me pray us out and we will go. Heavenly Father, God, thank you for this group. Thank you for people that are called to you in unique ways. Thank you for the pioneers, the influencers, the out of the box thinkers, the people, just the normal people that are called to do something you directed them to do. Thank you for their direction and purpose. God, help us, the Church Digital, as we continue to equip and mobilize digital missionaries. Help us as we resource others to come alongside and help the existing work that's happening globally. Thank you for loving us and using us in the way that you do. In your name we pray. Amen. Awesome. Thanks, everybody. Have a great one. Hang out in the lounge and the breakout room, and see you later. I actually have no idea how to hang up right now. Is it the red button? I'm just going to hit the red button. Let's see what happens.